Hello everyone, I'm Marina and it's Sakramel School. Your client has got lots of Hyponychium and you don't know what it is and what to do with it. Watch in today's video. Let's get into it. Here are today's nails. As you can see, they were badly damaged by my model. She did her own gel polish coating at home, and she didn't remove it correctly. She over-filed the nail plate instead. And most importantly, on these nails, there is lots of skin under the nail plate. That's Hyponychium. The Hyponychium continues the nail bed. It is filled with capillaries, and we must not tear, remove, or cut it off. We can only trim the lens a little bit and keep it as it is. There's a couple of nuances that we need to take into account here. For example, the nail length should not be shorter than the nail bed. Where does all of that Hyponychium come from? When the nail gets longer, the nail bed tries to protect itself. It gets bigger and longer to make up for the pressure that is put on the free edge. So the chance of having lots of Hyponychium is higher for those who wear long nails, and for those who have naturally long nail beds. Damaging the Hyponychium doesn't feel good. It often happens when the nails break. Now I push the cuticle, polish the nail surface, and slightly file the free edge. When there is lots of Hyponychium, make sure to tilt the finger down and let the nail file fall onto the nail plate a bit. Then you won't damage the skin. The reason why we file the nail this way, exposing the Hyponychium, is that later we will need to set up the form correctly without getting under it to avoid any leaks, since otherwise a client is highly likely to try to remove them, together with the Hyponychium, and damage it badly. My model's cuticle is thin, with a couple of hangnails. I guess she was using dull nippers. I recommended she tested out the sharpness of the nippers on the plastic bag. If it gets easily cut, then the nippers are sharp enough, and if it doesn't, they are dull. A couple of days later, my model texted me that the nippers turn out dull instead. So if you've got hangnails right after the manicure, make sure to check your cutting tool. To remove thin and dry cuticles, we do an e-file manicure. I lift up the cuticle and remove the pterygium using a flame drill bit, and with a red sphere one, I polish the skin. To smooth out the tiniest hangnails, I apply a dehydrating toner to moisturize the skin and polish it with the drill bit. I have received a huge package from the brand Cosmoprofi with their best materials: gels, aqua gels, base coats, and gel polishes. Let's try them out. I prepare the nails for strengthening, dehydrate the nail plate, and apply an acid-free primer. I will use this rubber base by Cosmoprofi as an underlay. I apply a thin layer. My model's nails are thin, so in this case we can't apply a thin aligning layer. Otherwise it will burn badly in the lamp, which may cause a nail plate burn. To strengthen the free edge and form defined corners, I will use this clear Aqua Gel. It is very thick, so it won't flow under the nail plate. I build up the missing corners like this. As a rule, Aqua Gel does not burn a lot in the lamp, which is a huge plus when it comes to working with thin, damaged nails. Now I want to say a few words on how to remove the coating correctly to keep the nails healthy. Don't get too deep with the drill bit right away. Remove 80 to 90% of the coverage with the drill bit and carefully file off the leftover tan using a soft 240 grit nail file. Then we'll keep the natural nails. I will use a form to extend the index nail. And make sure to cut it correctly, following the shape of the free edge. So the cutout may be asymmetrical. Just make sure to set up the form between the nail and the Hyponychium, not underneath. If you set up the form correctly, it won't cause any discomfort to your client. If they say that it hurts, the form gets pressed into the skin, that means that it slipped and got under the nail plate. I extended the free edge. Now I decrease and file it. I don't check its thickness now, since my task is to file a sharp square. I will file out the thickness later. To file out the thickness, I'm using a thin ceramic drill bit. I move from right to left in the forward position, cleaning it all out. It's really important when it comes to working with such nails with lots of hyponychium. I pull the front fold well and work carefully to avoid getting under the hyponychium. Otherwise, we can easily damage it. So make sure to work carefully. There's nothing to file out on the index nail, since thanks to the correct form setup, the inside is clean. I've strengthened the free edge. Now I need to build up the architecture. For this, I will use this gorgeous shimmery camouflage base coat. I cover up the nail plate first and then put a drop on the apex. There is almost none of it on the free edge, since we don't need too much volume there due to the Aqua Gel layer. I touch it up with a thin brush, touch up the side sinuses, and align the architecture. Gel polish is not the only material you can use. Gels and Aqua Gels will do too. Base coats are perfect for beginners since they get easily spread and don't flow under the cuticle. They will also last long. After curing, I degrease the surface and proceed with the design. For this, I will need a white color. I put it on the palette and I want to paint stylized French tips. A thin brush with long hair is a must here. The longer the hair, the longer the line. I paint the same design on the rest of the nails. Make sure to use a thick white gel polish that doesn't flow. I also add a thin golden line in the middle. Here's the result. I restored the missing corners and shaped a square shape without forms. If you want to learn about other nail extension techniques, check out my other videos. I wish you all success in your work. Bye-bye.